Hey everyone. So I am live again on day 2 of our 3-day soup challenge. I'm live on Instagram and also on Facebook at Nourished by Nadia. So today we are doing day 2 of our 3-day soup challenge. I hope you guys liked the tomato soup. Now, if you haven't received the recipes, please let us know. Please let me know. Please message us, and I will send over the recipes to you. And if you didn't catch my live yesterday, I have it on YouTube, so just let me know, and I will post a link. I'll actually post a link in the comments if you missed day 2, day 1, which was tomato soup. So, and also just a little intro about myself. My name is Nadia Qureshi. I am the founder of Nourished by Nadia, and I'm a nutritionist, holistic nutritionist, and I work with clients one-on-one as well as doing group programs as well. And I'm working on one right now, so you'll get more info on that later. But let's get started with our 3-day soup challenge, day 2. So today we're going to be making a ginger ginger carrot miso soup, and I have all the ingredients here, and I'll show you everything that I'm actually using. So if you're interested in any of these products, you'll be able to get these, and I'll tell you where to get them from as well. So I'm actually going to get started with just kind of starting the stove, because the onions. So basically, what we're going to do is we're going to saute carrots, onions, and garlic in the pan for about 7 to 10 minutes. So I want to get started on that, and then I'll explain everything else as well. So the way that I usually saute, I actually use, and I'm going to turn this on medium. So I actually use either water or vegetable broth when I'm cooking. I generally don't use oil, unless it's like for a specific recipe. But generally, when I'm sautéing and cooking, I don't really use much oil. So I use either water or vegetable broth. So if you have the recipe, you'll notice that I wrote water. You can definitely use vegetable broth instead if you want kind of just like extra, kind of just some extra nutrients. So in there, I'm also going to add in some carrots. I've already sliced them pretty thin, and these are rainbow carrots. You'll notice they're not orange, but they're like yellow, kind of like a yellow, pale white or pale yellow, and this pretty, you'll see, it's kind of pretty. So it's like this, it's like purple and I don't know, orange. So I'm gonna add these carrots, it's 2 carrots, and then so one of the things that I did, so instead of onions, I'm actually using shallots. And what I did was I ended up I diced them, and then I soaked it in water just to make it a little bit less pungent and strong when it's cooking. So I'm just going to drain this real quick. Okay. And then I'm adding this into... And actually, it's okay if you have a little bit of water still, because we're sauteing in water and vegetable broth anyway. So I added the shallots, and again, you can use shallots, you can use onions. And then the other thing that we're adding in is I'm adding in I actually have to grab that, and I'll show that to you as well. So I actually what I often do is I will take garlic, and so you'll see I have garlic cloves, and I'll actually freeze it because I hate having garlic, kind of having garlic around and then it ends up going bad. Or I also end up oftentimes I often end up kind of forgetting about the garlic. So I have this garlic press, so I'm just going to press this real quick. I'm using 2 garlic cloves. And I'm just using this garlic press. You don't have to do this, but you can if you want. You can also just kind of dice it kind of small. And if you have any questions along the way, please feel free to kind of type in, and I'll definitely try to answer them if I can. And if you have questions later too, like when you actually are making the soups, you can definitely reach out to me. So I added in, so basically on medium heat, I added in the shallots or onions, the carrots, and the garlic. And I'm just going to let that saute for a little bit. You basically kind of just want to get it softer. So later on, you're going to be blending everything. So you don't necessarily need to have everything, like for example the dicing and all of that. You don't have to have it exact because we are going to be blending it. So I'm just going to let that kind of like simmer for a little bit or cook. And the other ingredients that I wanted to show you is I'm using this vegetable broth by Pacific. And if you saw my live yesterday, I also discussed this this vegetable broth. It's very clean ingredients. It's just water, carrot, celery, onions, leeks, and just like a few more ingredients. No oil, no really preservatives in here except for citric acid. So it's a very clean, low sodium vegetable broth. Obviously, you can also make your own as well, but I chose to buy it this time. And then we're also going to be using miso. So there are so many different types of miso. A lot of people have different, preferences when it comes to miso. This is kind of a stronger miso. It's a brown rice miso, red. It's an unpasteurized soybean paste. It's a very high quality type of miso that's actually made in Japan. So you don't have to use this one. There's a lot of great brands out there. This is the Mitoku brand, but I know that Miso Masters is a good one. There's a lot of really good ones. This one has been aged, doesn't say for how long, but many of them might say like they've been aged for a certain amount of time, and the more aged they are, the nutritional benefits are greater. So I'm going to be using this one. And then the other ingredients that you'll need is ginger, obviously, because it's a carrot miso ginger soup. So we're going to be adding in the ginger after the vegetables kind of cook and soften for a little bit. The other ingredients are sesame seeds. So this is just like a topping. This is totally optional. You can also add a little bit of sesame oil. Like I mentioned, I don't generally use oil, but sesame oil has a really great kind of flavor, so that is something that you could do. And then I also have some green onions, and that's also just kind of a topping that is totally optional that you could add in your soup at the end of it when you're serving. So I just want to check this out, and you'll see the vegetables are they're cooking down. I kind of just want the carrots to be a little soft, so that's kind of what we're waiting for. So once those soften up, I'm going to be adding in 2 cups of vegetable broth. And this is one of those soups too that freezes really well, just like the tomato soup that I made yesterday, and then as well as the lentil soup that I'll be making tomorrow. So this is a great soup to kind of have batch cook and then freeze it. So this is a really good soup for that. And then the only other thing that we'll need is, actually I think that's it. So if you'll notice in the recipe, it doesn't have the amount of vegetable broth. So that's, so I wanted to mention that. So it should be 2 cups. So the carrots are definitely going to take a little bit longer to soften up, but I want to walk you through everything while this is kind of cooking down. So until this softens up, I'll kind of just like have this cooking on medium heat. Once it softens, I will add in the 2 cups of vegetable broth and then 1 teaspoon of ginger, which I have here. I actually have it, what I actually did was I minced a bunch of ginger and then froze it, so that's what I have here. So I'll be adding in about 1 teaspoon of ginger. Ginger has amazing properties. It's really nutritious. It's very anti-inflammatory. It's great for digestion. It's great for gut health. it's a really great thing. I actually have ginger tea every morning when I wake up. After I have my, at least 2 cups of water, I'll have some ginger tea. So that's something that just kind of helps the body digest better. And also for those who have digestion issues, I would definitely recommend trying to add more ginger into your diet. Um, so that's that. So I'm just going to actually add in the vegetable broth now. So I'm just adding that in, and then I'm going to add in, this is about a teaspoon. Adding in about a teaspoon or so. And you can play around with the different ingredients and see how much, if you don't like a strong ginger taste, you can definitely add a little bit less to that. And then that's pretty much it for this part of it. I'm going to lower the temperature to about between low and medium, and let this cook down for about 20 minutes. Once this is completely cooked, and you'll notice that the carrots are softer, what we'll want to do is that's when you'll want to blend it. So you can either blend it in an immersion blender, like the handheld immersion blender that you kind of just put directly into the pot, or you can transfer it to for example, a Vitamix or a high-powered blender that will blend it. And then you bring it back to the pot, and then you'll want to add in your miso. You'll add in about 2 tablespoons of miso, and then just kind of stir that around. The thing about miso is you never want to overheat miso. You'll always want to, because it actually loses some of the nutritional properties if you overheat miso. So you'll always want to add, whenever you're working with miso, add it towards the end of your cooking. So we'll add it towards the end, and then you just serve it. So then you'll just put it into bowls and add your green onions, any sesame seeds, and that's really it. So it's a pretty simple recipe. It took about less than 10 minutes to really put together, and then it'll just cook. So we're gonna let this cook for about 20 minutes. And that's really it. If you have any questions, please let me know. Oh, sorry. I was just looking to see if I had any comments. And that's pretty much it. So I hope you enjoyed this. I really hope that you enjoy this soup and that you like this soup. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, and I will see you tomorrow at 12.